they did take my information and I gave them my international number. They ended up calling me in the next 15 minutes. I don't think Louis Vuitton is like Hermes where they play that game with you. However, I have heard friends and other people sharing their stories of how their things get prioritized differently. I understand there could be that dynamic, but I believe you definitely could get some of these very basic yet popular pieces from the store, because that's how I got actually both of these. Hi guys, welcome back to today's video. I'm so happy to have you back here. Today I have two very cute handbags that are very popular by demand. So I'm going to be comparing them and give you guys a in-depth review on the Nano Speedy and Nano Noe. I will make sure to cover how I got both of them and how practical they are and what are some of the pros and cons on each style, as well as how well they're going to hold up in long term. That's how we do it on My First Luxury. So if you're new, my name's Vivian. I would love if you join this community by subscribing to the channel, and also you can find us on Instagram. So without further ado, let's get into all of the fun details about these two very cute handbags. So let's talk about how I got both of these handbags first. And if you have watched my previous video on comparing the two Nano Speedies that I have, you know that I have two of them. One of them is the one that I got and then I removed the strap, and then the other one is the most recent possession. So this one I actually just got called from the boutique from the person that I work with. I am an advocate for trying to get everything from the source because it's most trustworthy, and also you have a warranty on anything if the product were not to hold up to the way it is, or if any quality issue happens, you can always go back to the boutique and they will always take care of it. Definitely, if you haven't gotten in contact with your salesperson yet, I don't think Louis Vuitton is like Hermes where they play that game with you. However, I have heard friends and other people sharing their stories of how, you know, their things get prioritized differently. I understand there could be that dynamic, but I believe you definitely could get some of these very basic yet popular pieces from the store, because that's how I got actually both of these. This particular one, I don't think I have talked a lot about because I have just been storing it away, and I scored this one on my trips in Capri. I just decided to walk into Louis Vuitton and hoping that I could pick up something that I can bring back as a piece of memory, and I definitely was not going to commit to like bigger size handbags because I have plenty and I know that I tend to not go to them whenever I choose handbags, because on the daily I like little handbags. So this one is actually quite interesting. Basically, I walk into the store and I was looking for things, and there were two special edition Bandolier Speedy 35 and a Damier Azur Neverfull that is made specially for Capri for that particular location. So I was actually very tempted to getting that, but I was like, when was the last time I've ever really used my Neverfull besides traveling? And my original Neverfull has already been beaten up so badly. You know, it's like aged and kind of seasoned, and I kind of like the look of it, but the idea of buying another one and using it was just not on my mind. So I kind of was just trying to see if they have anything else that is little, something special. At that time, I had no idea about how popular these nano sizes are already in demand. So I basically left the boutique and I told them, if you have received more shipments, let me know, even though I know it's kind of like a hit or miss because I was only there for a couple of days, but they did take my information and I gave them my international number. They ended up calling me in the next 15 minutes where I was just having a gelato and a break in the nearby shops. So I got a call, the lady's like, we just got another shipment, we got a lot of little bags in, do you want to come in and take a look? I was like, wow, I like that they're really making an effort for international clients. So I definitely popped right in, and then she showed me this. I'm like, okay, this is it. And I also think I didn't pay very high premium for this. Obviously, it's the official retail price, and I think I paid 850 or 880 euros for this with a tax return because we're traveling. So I was just so in love with this little bag because this is just something that I needed when I was traveling. My story of me scoring this one is definitely something that sets another example for some of you, that sometimes it's really the timing. It's not really the political game or something that the salesperson isn't willing to do for you. Sometimes they are genuinely out of stock. So when you run into them in a good time, when they receive a stock, you're happening to be texting them, I'm pretty sure they're gonna let you know because all the sales associates are trying to close deals. So definitely keep that door open and check in with them if you're really looking for something, trying to get it fast. So that's the lessons that I've learned here, and I've successfully scored both of these from the boutique without paying extra. Okay, so now let's talk about the pros and cons. I'm pretty certain that I've been very vocal about not liking the strap on the Nano Speedy, and I have set a not very good example for some of you, but some of you think that I'm brave. I just think, you know, I definitely could not stand the strap being in the way all of the time, knowing that I will be using the bag on the daily and also having an extra pair of strap on the side. So in case if I want to use it as a crossbody, I definitely do have that option. So that's why I chose to cut the strap off on my other Nano Speedy. I did got very lucky when I got offered to buy another one. So, you know, this is just the current state of it. It hasn't patinaed, besides, you know, it's just been sitting in the room. You can visually separate them. Like this one is more tan and this one is just all the natural Vachetta leather that's still very, very light. So the cons for this one, I would say, is definitely the non-removable strap. Other than that, I do think this little beast here gets all of the attention and compliments. A lot of people love the size of it because it's a Louis Vuitton and also it's in a tiny size. So people just naturally adore these. And of course, I will get into what really fits in there next, but now we're just talking about the pros and cons. And the cons for this one, I actually don't know how I would feel about cutting the strap off on this one because it's just genuinely cute the way it is. So I left the strap on. The con for me is using this bag immediately after I purchased it. The fear of me always pulling on these drawstrings, and I was always afraid that they're gonna tear or some parts are gonna getting pulled off. Even though they're pretty sturdy and I'm pretty sure I have tightened them up like completely to the max multiple times, and then they're still holding up pretty well. This is a close-up shot of the drawstring. As you can see, it looks a lot more stretched, and the glazing on the tips of the drawstring have been worn off as well. And the areas that didn't get to use too much are still in a pretty good condition compared to the places that I've pulled most often. So I had a thought about replace the drawstring that came with the bag with maybe like a scarf or a twilly. I haven't gotten to that project yet. So what do you guys think? Do you think I should try to replace the twilly or scarf for this beautiful piece of Vachetta leather? Let me know in the comment section below if you have thought about it or if you have the same thoughts, and I'm definitely willing to do that. And I haven't really found the perfect piece of scarf to do it because it needs to be really, really thin in order to go through these squirrel mats. This is something that I've always worried about, that, you know, if I use it way more often than I'm using it now, and if I always pull very hard trying to close the bag, it is going to be pulled off. So that's definitely one major area of concern. And another thing is this bag has an open top. It doesn't have a closed top versus the Nano Speedy. This one does have a zipper. I cannot stress the importance of zipper when you're traveling or when you're on the go. In my opinion, I do think having a zipper just makes everything better because you can secure everything inside your bag so much better. And a little story about the original design of the Noe bag. This is obviously the newest edition and the tiniest size, which is the nano size. And the regular size of Noe, which was the only thing that was launched back then, is something that is inspired by a champagne bucket. So it's designed for you to go on picnic and you can put a bottle of champagnes in there and just use a cinched closure to close it. So the top part is left out for the top part of a champagne bottle. But obviously right now we look at handbags so differently than its original functionality because we have, you know, turned the handbag world upside down by being very creative by using different styles of handbags. For example, we have used the vanity bag as a handbag, even though it was designed to be used as a vanity. But same thing goes for the Noët. It was originally designed for the little champagne, and I'm pretty sure if I try to put a little bottle of champagne in there, it's going to look pretty awesome as well. But as of now, I do think it fits quite a lot because it's literally just a bucket. You can put as many things as you can in there. The fact that it doesn't have any compartments really makes things very easy to use. And if you are someone who loves organization, feel free to get one of the bag organizers, and I believe you can keep things a lot more organized in there. And it doesn't really lose its structure, even though when I'm storing my bag, I do put bag stuffers in there. But for the most part, it's a soft canvas kind of finish, so you have room to expand as you wish. I have some of my essentials here that I'm going to demonstrate and show you guys that it actually fits perfectly inside this bag. So first going in is my card holder slash wallet. Goes in perfectly. And then I usually carry a hand cream with me, so this little eggie is also gonna go in there. And most importantly, I have my phone, which is an iPhone 11. So let me show you that it also fits perfectly in this bag. So from there, you can still see that there's a lot more space that's available for you to utilize. So this is honestly my favorite size. So this is the Nano Noët, and I just styled it, but usually it's very easy because most things can fit vertically. And I have the same three things again. My hand cream that I usually like to carry with me, that'll go in. And then I have my wallet slash card holder that is also going in. And then lastly, I have my iPhone 11, not the big size, but it is an iPhone 11, not the Max. It also goes in there perfectly. And this is pretty much what it looks like if they were all to stand up. So basically, a lot of the times, because it's not a closed top, people can see literally what's inside your bag. But the Speedy is a different game. You can hide almost everything. So I think that one might be more even travel friendly if you want to keep your things private. Another interesting detail some of you guys have brought up watching the last video is the placement of the grommets. I don't think there is a specific way of them placing the grommets, and if I take a close look at all the placements on this little bag here, I don't think any of them is stand up like straight. They're all kind of in different directions, so I think it's just something that the brand decides to do. And I also heard that you can turn them back pretty easily, so if you have tried that, let me know. And now let's take a look at them together right next to each other. And from this shot, you can see that the Nano Noët is taller than the Nano Speedy, but the Nano Speedy is wider than the Nano Noët. One is more vertical, one is more horizontal. Now let's look at the details such as glazing on all the bags. This is the handle on the Nano Speedy. You can see it's still quite glossy and new. And this is the side tab for the Nano Noët. It's still quite glossy, but you can tell it's patinaed. And this is a comparison on the glazing of both of these bag straps. On the left side, the more tan one is obviously the Noët, and the right side is the Speedy. Besides color differences, I think they look pretty uniform. And here is the stitching on both of them. I do think they are pretty consistent, and you can tell this is the front side and that is the back side. And now you're looking at the strap holders, and the stitchings pretty much look similar, and sometimes they're done differently. I cannot explain to you why, besides artisans are trained differently. I've noticed another interesting detail, which are these brand tags, and then on one side it shows where it's made, and on the back side of this shows date stamp. This is on the Speedy. Interestingly, on the Nano Noët, on the back there's nothing. The date stamp can be found in a different place. I definitely think this bag is something that if you can find one, get your hands on it, whether or not you're gonna keep the strap. I do think this is something that is just so cute in terms of style as well as how practical the size really is. I literally have been living in this bag since quarantine. I also switch up between the Chanel Mini Classic Flap and also this one. I do think this one is more practical because I like a handheld piece. Everywhere I go, I swear, if I go to doctor's appointment or if I go somewhere to pick up coffee, buy pastry, somebody always gives me a compliment for this bag. I do think this bag is also a great conversation starter, you know, and then for the price point of it, it's something that's really easy to obtain in your collection. Even though the demand of it is really high, you might have to try a little harder in order to get one, but don't give up because I happen to score both of these from the boutique in different times. This is my 2 cents and this is my view about both of these cuties. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. As you know, I always try my best to cover everything that I think you guys should know, that I think viewers should know, but sometimes I might have left something out. So definitely let me know if I haven't talked about something that you have concerns about. I would love to get back to you. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I would love to have you here. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you have the great rest of your week and I look forward to seeing you on the future videos. Take care guys. Bye.